These are the 3 most important questions to ask your EPC before doing any business. Hey, welcome back to another video of the best solar channel on the planet. My name is Ivan, and this channel is predominantly about solar. I have hundreds of videos, everything you could possibly think of. I've probably already covered it. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future uploads. Also, if you're brand new to solar and you want to know the step-by-step process of achieving success in the solar industry, I have a very cool playlist. The link for that you're gonna find in the description down below. Before deciding to do business with any installer or EPC, as we like to call them, you're gonna want to have a list of questions to ask them before you decide, before you commit to sending them any business. There's a lot of questions you can ask your installer, but it boils down to 3 questions that matter the most to any dealer. The first question is, you gotta ask them, what are the best markets? If you're dealing with a statewide installer, so they're just one state, you're gonna still ask them, what your best counties, cities, what are the best areas, what are the fastest install times, where are your permitting flawless, where do you get installs fastest? Like, these are the kind of questions you want to ask. Now, if they operate in multiple different states, it's the same thing. And if you want to do a statewide campaign or hit multiple states at the same time, which I believe to be the right thing to do, you're still going to ask them, hey, you're operating in 10 states or 5 states. Which markets are the best for install times? Which markets are the best for sales? I don't want to hard sell people. Like, I want to make sure that sales are easy. And just because the installer can target multiple markets, it doesn't mean that they're all flourishing. It doesn't mean that they're all the same. There's always good markets, bad markets, best markets, so on and so forth. And you want to know what those are before you start. Question number 2 that you need to ask your installer is a price sheet for all the adders. I know most people are concerned with their red line, and red lines are important. Don't get me wrong. What's more important is the adder sheet. Because the bad installers would not really show you kind of like the adders. It would be in the agreement, but it wouldn't stand out. If you start sending them deals, they'll just basically nickel and dime you for everything. And you'll end up way overpaying to get a job installed and get you paid than what you should have had. And what some installers do is they would want to lure you in with a very attractive red line, but at the end of it, they have a ton of adders, an adder for everything possible. And the adder is not even a reasonably priced adder, it's just ridiculous. Travel adders, steep roof adders, so on and so forth. And you want to know what those are before you start sending them deals, because that is the biggest surprise to any dealer once they start selling. It's not the red line. Red line's pretty clear, but it's the adders. And you want to know that way before you start conducting business with that EPC. Now, question number 3 you want to ask is, hey, what are the future plans? You have 1 market, 2 markets, 5 markets, but are you planning on growing? How flexible are you in terms of opening up another market? Because if I start sending you business and all of a sudden we grow and I want to start opening up other markets, I would much rather send you deals as opposed to go and look for another installer to service that area, because I already know what you're capable of. I already know I get paid on time. I already know that your communication is perfect, and I'm happy with our relationship. So I don't want to end up going and asking around for other installers. I want to know, like, what's up? You ask about their future plans. You ask about new states, if they're planning on opening up new states, because just because they're in a handful of states doesn't mean that they don't have a plan to open 5 or 10 or 20 more. So I think that's extremely important if you're planning on really growing your company. And last, number 4, which is kind of like a bonus, is you want to ask them if they have any sort of tiered section incentives for dealers that do X amount of installs, or if that red line ever drops. If you start at 250, is there a possibility to drop to 240 or 230? And you want to know that right off the bat, because at the end of the day, it does, and it will affect your bottom line. Most installers, the good ones at least, would have some sort of incentivized program, so that's already going to be in place, but you still want to know what that is, because like I said, it does affect you, and it will affect you at some point. That will be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for future videos or topics you want me to cover, put them down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you again in the next one.